back to Info Squad, where information equals freedom. A company in Wisconsin has implemented microchips into its employees at what they called a chip party. These new microchipped employees can open doors, log into computers, use copying machines, and even use the vending machines. The name of this company is 3 Square Market, and they have implemented microchips into almost half of its 85 employees. The chips contain encrypted data, similar to a credit card. The company says the RFID chips implanted between the skin of the thumb and the forefinger were completely voluntary. This technology was approved by the FDA back in 2004, and when people in the alternative media started saying stuff like this was coming, they were laughed off. Now this technology is here, and no one's laughing anymore. They will never implant chips underneath people's skin. This is how most people thought, even just a few years ago. The transhumanist agenda is moving very fast. Look up now and see it for what it is. On the surface, it may look convenient to have all this information on your chip and make everything easily accessible. But ask yourself, who really benefits from having these chips? It's the people who want more control of our society. Big banks were one of the first in line to commission these microchipping companies to produce microchips as security. One of the places you're going to see this stuff get pushed over the years is going to be in our schools. This should throw up a red flag to you when they start talking about implementing the microchips to our children in our schools. They want complete and total control over your health and your wealth. It starts off small, with debit cards, credit cards, or your identification. But over time, this technology will become more invasive, eventually making its way to your brain. You will be told that by accepting this technology, you will become superhuman and very intelligent, but the opposite will be true. The technology will only make you subhuman, moving your conscious thoughts to the cloud and connecting you to the artificial intelligence. Over time, allowing the AI to do all the thinking for you, you will become subhuman.
Hey, Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, which in the Hebrew language mean all praises to the Most High. His true name is Yahweh. Bahashem meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai is whom the world ignorantly stubbornly calls Jesus. The Son of God, the Son of the Most High, his true name is Yahweh Shai. Kakodash means Holy Spirit. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the elect. I played this video because basically a lot of things that was being said, I basically experienced that today in line at the grocery store. All right, and what I did was I typed in, I wanted to add to this video. I went on YouTube and typed in RFID. And it was a whole slew of GMS videos on the topic, Great Millstone videos on the topic, which lets you know that, hey, you know, we doing the right thing. We prophesying, you know, we giving the people warning. All right, because the RFID chip is a major thing in the scriptures. All right. But anyway, yeah, so like what happened was I'm in line and it's automated tellers in the grocery store at Kroger. So there's no cashier station open. It's 10 o'clock. The grocery store closes at 12. So you got this line, you know, long, decent line. And it's about like 8 stations. It's about 8 automated tellers. All right. Now, out of those 8, I say about 3 or 4 take credit. It's card only. So the line is getting held up because, you know, a lot of people got cash. So I say the whole time I'm there, it was only 2 people that dealt with the card only. So now you got people that don't know it's only card only, so they walking up and they it's not working, so they got to go back in line, and it's confusion. And out of nowhere, the lady comes, types in the code, and says, "It's accepting cash now." So now we moving along, and I'm sitting there. Now everyone that accept cash, no automated teller, to my knowledge, is cash only. All right, but they normally keep 1 or 2 card only. But this tonight, it was holding, the card only was holding so many people up. They put a code in it and made it cash. Now you can use cash. So what's that's telling you? They're drawing us away from cash, from having so-called money in our possession, right? You know, your dollars, 5s, and 10s, to dealing with the card. But when you notice, every time you're dealing with the card, it's always chip. There's no more swipe. Now, I say about last year, me and the brother, we was in the grocery store, and what happened? Oh, they told him about use his chip. He was like, "No, I don't want to use the chip. I want to swipe." And he swiped, and it didn't allow him to swipe, and it was explained to him that you gotta use the chip. The only way you can swipe is if your chip is malfunctioned or defaced, or somehow it don't read. That's when it'll allow you to swipe. But so that's letting you know they're gearing you up for the RFID chip. That's how the so-called white men do. Esau Edom. He's very cunning. All right, overplay for the underlay. He sets little things up in your subconscious so much and so forth, that when it finally comes out, you accept it. All right. He pushed those words, like terrorists. Oh, terror, war on terror, terrorism, terror. All right, and it affects you emotionally. All right, it manipulates your emotion. All right, a lot of people get their information from the media. Okay, so their minds be blinded to what's really going on. And the thing is, what's really going on is the so-called white man, Esau Edom, which the Bible calls him, wants total control over your life. He wants to be God over your soul. And that's what you're doing when you consent to that RFID chip, like the dude said. All right. Now this is a scripture. The dude said, the guy in the video. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, because it's gonna be every facet of life. I've heard of cases where prisoners who were getting out on parole or release was getting implanted with a chip. All right. You got it's gonna be every facet of life. It's gonna be the rich, the celebrities, the famous people, the sports players, versus your everyday average Joe, your truck driver, your cashier, your clerk, your lawyer. This is how trade and commerce is gonna be. This is how exchanges for goods and services and payment is gonna be. Everything gonna be digital. All right. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That word mark. So like your wrong word. Charagma, a stamp and imprint mark. All right. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Because the powers that be that's implemented the mark of the beast, they are the Antichrist. All right. The Son of God, the Messiah, he comes in the volume of the book. These people that's ruling the world does not rule it through the Bible. All right. They pushing forth homosexuality. All right. They pushing forth pedophilia. They pushing forth idol worship. And when you take that mark, you saying that those people right, their ideology right. Everything they say, I will do. All right, because when the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, when we entered into the covenant of the Lord, which he gave to us through Moses, we said all the things the Lord has said we will do, which was follow the Bible. Okay? But when you take that RFID chip, that's that badge that you saying, I agree with the way these people run the world. I agree with them killing my people. I agree with them poisoning the ocean. I agree with them enforcing idol worship and everything against the Bible and everything against the Most High and His Son, Yahweh and Yahushua. All right? The mark branded upon horses, a theme, carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, jumping down to the Strong's definition, from the same as a scratch or etching that is stamped as a badge of servitude or sculpture figure, graven mark. So it's going to be something within you, okay? It going to the word karaxis, a pale or a stake, a palisade or a rampart, all right? Like you ever, you watch the vampires, they get impaled with the stakes. See how it's something inserted, it's something that's within them, all right? So the RFID microchip, it's a physical thing. It's not something it's not theoretical. A lot of people saying the mark of the beast is a philosophy or no. Sometimes things in the scriptures are physical. All right. Sometimes they're dark saying or dark speeches. Or it could be a dark speech that's physical. Like Revelation 13, it's a dark speech that it said receive a mark in the right hand on the forehead. But it's a physical thing. When you go into it and reveal it, you got to go into those words. All right? Into that Greek word. But look, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. So if you can't buy or sell, that means you cannot participate in society, because everything is based off buying and selling. Everything. You either paying for something, you always got to pay for something, or you giving your services to be paid. Thus, a job. And you got to eat, you got to pay rent, etc. So you cannot participate in society unless you got this mark. So if they once and when they do away with paper money, it might be a credit card or a debit card, which might be short-lived. Or they can just do away with all of it and just everything chipped. See? But I did a lesson maybe last year, many months ago. And the same thing with the vending machines. These vending machines taking cards now. Every so often, the vending machine won't accept your money. It accept only the card. I experienced that at work. Every vending machine we get take a card. I believe maybe except one, or I'm not sure. But out of those 4, the 3 I use take a card. And every now and then, or 2. Or 3, but anyway, every now and then it won't work, and you just sitting there through. But every now and then it won't work, so it's like it's forcing your hand to get with the program, and they gonna package and selling it for convenience because that was a long line. Now let's say the majority of the people had the card, but the people, let's say half had the card and half had the money. And it was a lot of automated tellers that had the card versus the money. Now the people with the money is an inconvenience. Now you getting looked at sideways. And everything is about status. Esau makes things about status. So now having a chip gonna be seen as status, or like over there in Asia. Most people that don't have the chip, or they thinking, you can YouTube this. It's a video in Asia, China, where they say people that still use cash, like physical money, that's for old people or slow people. So it's gonna be a thing of status. But with that, Lord willing, this was the edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Shalom.